Have you ever had one of those quiet moments, sitting in your favorite chair with a warm cup of tea, when suddenly you feel a strange sensation in your chest? Maybe it's tightness. Maybe your arm feels a little heavy, or your breathing changes just slightly. For a second you wonder, could this be something serious? And then you brush it off. Maybe it's just indigestion. Maybe I slept funny. Maybe I'm overthinking. But here's the truth, after 60, we can't afford to brush off these signs. Our bodies talk to us in whispers before they scream. And when it comes to heart attacks, especially when you're alone, you don't want to wait until it's too late to listen. You see, heart disease is still the leading cause of death for people over 60. But the good news is, you have more control than you think. Today, we're going to talk about how to recognize the signs of a heart attack early, and more importantly, what to do in those critical first moments when help isn't immediately available. This isn't about fear, it's about power. The power to take action. The power to stay calm. The power to survive. So let's talk about the small, life-saving steps that can make all the difference. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Let's begin with the first thing every senior needs to know: how to recognize the quiet signs before the storm hits. We're used to thinking of heart attacks as dramatic, chest-clutching moments we see on TV. But in reality, they often start much more subtly, especially in older adults. It might be a pressure in the chest, like someone is gently but steadily pushing down. It could be a pain that spreads to your jaw, neck, or even your upper back. Some people feel lightheaded or break out in a cold sweat. For others, it's just an overwhelming fatigue, as if you suddenly hit a wall and can't keep your eyes open. If you've ever felt unusually tired after doing something simple, like walking to the mailbox or taking a shower, it could be a red flag, especially if it's new or comes on suddenly. And if you feel like something just isn't right, listen to that instinct. Your body is wiser than you realize. Now, the second life-saving step is perhaps the most important. Don't wait it out. I know what you might be thinking. I don't want to cause a fuss. I don't want to call 911 if it's nothing. I've had worse before, it'll pass. But time is muscle. Every minute during a heart attack, your heart is losing oxygen. And the longer you wait, the more damage is done. The truth is, it's better to be wrong and alive than hesitant and in danger. Make a promise to yourself. If something feels off, you act. No second guessing. Now, let's say you're alone when symptoms start. Maybe you're at home, maybe it's late at night. What you do in the first 60 seconds can save your life. And that brings us to the third critical step. Call for help immediately, even if you're not 100% sure it's a heart attack. Grab your phone, dial emergency services, and leave the line open. Even if you can't talk clearly, dispatchers can trace your location in many areas. Sit down on the floor, somewhere safe, close to the front door if you can. Unlock the door if possible so responders can get in quickly. It might sound simple, but these steps shave off precious minutes when they matter most. And while you wait for help, here's something else you can do. Chew an aspirin. Not swallow, chew. If you're not allergic and your doctor hasn't told you to avoid it, chewing a regular aspirin, 325 milligrams, during a suspected heart attack can help break down the clot and restore blood flow faster. It's not a cure, but it can buy you time. You might already keep aspirin in your medicine cabinet, but now is the time to place a few tablets somewhere you can reach quickly. In your purse, by the bedside, even taped behind your phone case. One day, it could make all the difference. Now, let's talk about your breath. If your heart is under stress, your breathing will often change. You might feel short of breath, or even panicked. But here's the thing. Panicking only makes your heart work harder. So the fourth life-saving tip is this. Learn to control your breathing. It sounds too simple to matter, but slowing your breath can slow your heart rate just enough to give your body a fighting chance. One technique I always share is this. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, then breathe out through your mouth for 4 more. Count out loud if it helps. This not only calms your mind but helps maintain oxygen flow during those crucial minutes before help arrives. Even if you're alone, you're not powerless. And here's something else that surprises many people. Coughing can sometimes help in the very early stages of a heart attack, especially if you're starting to feel faint. It's called cough CPR, And while it's not a substitute for real CPR or medical care, it's a temporary method to stimulate the heart. It only works in specific cases, and you should only try it if you've been trained or advised by a doctor, but it involves a deep breath followed by a strong, forceful cough every couple of seconds, like you're trying to clear something from your lungs. Again, not a cure, but a bridge. A moment of oxygen. A heartbeat longer. These steps, recognizing the signs, calling for help, staying calm, chewing aspirin, and controlling your breath, are not just things to remember. They're tools. Tools that could save your life, or the life of someone you love. Now that we've talked about how to recognize what's happening and what to do in those crucial first moments, let's keep going, because survival isn't just about the first few minutes. It's also about what we do afterward, and how we prepare our lives before something even happens. You see, surviving a heart attack alone doesn't start the moment you feel pain. It starts today, while you're feeling fine, by creating a plan that gives you the best shot when it matters most. Let me ask you something. Do the people in your life know what medications you're on? Could someone find your emergency contacts if they needed to? These might seem like small details, but they can mean the world in a crisis. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do, our fifth life-saving step, is to prepare an emergency health card and keep it visible. This doesn't have to be complicated. Just a small index card or piece of paper with your name, age, blood type, if you know it, allergies, current medications, and 2 emergency contacts. Slip it in your wallet, tape it to your fridge, or better yet, do both. You can even stick a copy inside the front door for first responders. Some folks I know keep a copy in their walker pouch or even wear a medical alert bracelet. It's not about being afraid, it's about being smart. And while we're talking about preparation, here's something else to think about, your home setup. After 60, every second matters in an emergency, and the layout of your space can either help you or slow you down. That's why our 6th tip is this: make your home heart attack ready. Take a moment to look around your living space. Is your phone always within arm's reach? Could you reach the door if you had to let someone in? Are there rugs or clutter that might trip you up if you felt dizzy or weak? These might seem like minor things, but they matter. I've spoken to seniors who managed to call 911 only to fall on the way to unlock the door, losing precious time. One simple change? Keep your mobile phone charging next to your bed at night, not across the room. And if you use a landline, make sure there's one in the bedroom and living room. Install a lockbox outside with a key for emergency responders. Many EMS teams recommend this. You don't have to live in fear, but you do deserve to live with peace of mind. Now, let's shift gears for a moment. Because while preparation is critical, so is practice. That brings us to our 7th life-saving tip. Visualize what you would do if a heart attack struck right now. It might feel silly at first, but walk through it. Imagine you feel that tightness in your chest. What do you do next? Where's your phone? Who do you call? Can you reach the aspirin? Can you unlock the door? Going through this mentally, even just once, helps train your brain to act faster and more confidently when every second matters. Athletes do it. Pilots do it. You can do it too. And if you live with someone else, talk about it together. Say, hey, if I ever had chest pain or collapsed, here's what I'd want you to do. These conversations aren't about being morbid, they're about being ready. And being ready means you're less likely to panic and more likely to survive. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. Because even if you do everything right, call for help, chew the aspirin, stay calm, there's still a step that many people overlook. And that is what you do in the days and weeks after you've had a heart scare. Let me share something important. Just surviving isn't enough. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to recover in a way that strengthens you. That brings us to our 8th and final tip. Follow up and make your heart stronger than ever. Too many people ignore the warning signs, survive a heart attack, and then go back to living the same way they always did. But your heart is telling you something. It's asking for your attention. And the good news is, your body is still listening. It's still capable of change, even after 60, even after 70, even after 80. It's never too late to heal, to grow, to choose life more fully. So make the follow-up appointment. Ask about cardiac rehab. Take a walk every day, even if it's just to the mailbox and back. Learn what foods lift your heart up instead of weighing it down. Hydrate more, stress less, laugh often. These aren't just nice ideas, they're the building blocks of recovery. They're the reasons people not only survive a heart attack, but come back stronger. And you know what? That includes you. It doesn't matter if you've lived your whole life on the go or if you've had a slower pace. If you're a gym regular or you haven't exercised in years. If you've had heart trouble before or this is the first time you're thinking about it seriously. You have today. And with that, you have power. The power to prepare. The power to stay calm under pressure. The power to bounce back with strength, clarity, and gratitude. Because living alone, or finding yourself alone in a moment of crisis, doesn't mean you're helpless. Not at all. It means you need a plan. A strategy. A few smart choices and simple habits that can carry you through to safety and beyond. Now, let's take all these insights and bring them together into something even more powerful. Because knowing what to do is one thing, but believing you can do it? That's what changes everything. Because knowing what to do is one thing, but believing you can do it? That's what changes everything. You've made it this far in the video, and that tells me something important about you. You're not someone who gives up. You're not just here for information, you're here because you care about your life, your future, and maybe even the people who love and depend on you. That quiet strength you carry? It matters. And now it's time to bring it all together, not just as knowledge, but as a way of life. Imagine this. You're alone. Maybe it's late evening. You start feeling that heavy sensation in your chest. You feel strange, a little dizzy. Something's not right. But this time, you don't hesitate. You already know the signs. You reach for your phone. It's within arm's reach. You dial emergency services without overthinking. You chew the aspirin you set out days ago. You unlock the door, sit on the floor by it, and breathe. That's not just a scenario, that can be your reality. Because every tip we've talked about in this video isn't about living in fear. It's about living with confidence. It's about reclaiming control over what feels uncontrollable. And here's something else that's just as important. Don't wait until something bad happens to have these conversations. With your doctor, with your family, even with your neighbors. Let them know your plan. Let them know how to support you, even if they're not nearby. Something as simple as a weekly check-in call with a friend or neighbor can make a world of difference. Not because you're weak, but because we're all stronger when we're connected. Maybe you've lived your life as the one who always takes care of others. And maybe asking for help, or even just planning for emergencies, feels like admitting vulnerability. But here's the truth, being prepared isn't weakness. It's wisdom. And after 60, wisdom is one of your greatest strengths. Now let's take a moment to reflect. You've learned how to recognize the subtle signs your body gives you. You've learned how to act quickly and smartly, even if you're completely alone. You've learned how to prepare your home, your emergency contacts, and even your mindset. You visualize the moment, not to scare yourself, but to strengthen your response. And you've reminded yourself that life after a heart scare doesn't end. It can be the beginning of a new, healthier, more mindful chapter. This isn't about making huge, sweeping changes overnight. It's about small, steady shifts that build up over time. Choosing to be aware. Choosing to care for your body. Choosing to believe that your best days don't have to be behind you. You're never too old to fight for your health. Never too late to learn something new. Never too far gone to make one small decision that leads to another, and eventually, to a stronger, safer, happier version of yourself. And if no one's told you this lately, you matter. Your heart matters. Your life matters. You still have so much to give, so much to enjoy, and so many quiet, beautiful moments ahead. Maybe it's sharing a laugh with an old friend, sitting on the porch and watching the sunset, hearing a grandchild's giggle over the phone, sipping your favorite tea while reading a book you love. These moments, these little pieces of life, they're worth protecting. And the best way to protect them is to protect yourself. So take what you've learned today and do something with it. Write down your emergency info. Talk to someone about your plan. Move that aspirin to where you can reach it. Walk through your home and remove anything that could trip you up if you were in a hurry. And when you lay your head down tonight, do it with peace, knowing that you're not just waiting for life to happen to you. You're showing up for it. On your terms. With courage and clarity. If this video has helped you, even in a small way, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or stories in the comments. You never know, your words might help someone else feel less alone, more prepared, more hopeful. And if you found this video helpful, please like it. It helps others find this information too. Subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this, real, practical, powerful guidance for living well after 60. Because this isn't just about surviving a heart attack. It's about thriving in every moment that comes after. Here's to your health, your strength, and your story, because it's still being written. And the best part? You're still holding the pen.